All right, I think we're back. No guarantees. We're going to try to call this game. Emily, what's the score? It's 1-1. It's game 2. Salamanders versus Depth Chargers for a spot in the finals. Looks like the Depth Chargers must have just scored because they've tossed off. Oh no, the Salamanders just scored. Salamanders in yellow, Depth Chargers in purple. Depth Chargers making their way down the middle. It looks like that's Manny, one of our title sponsors here with Revolution Coffee, and a quick turnover back to the Salamanders. Oh, and Max with a big kick. When you see that kick in those weenie bikinis, you know it's going to go fast. Oh, a pass up. You don't normally see it, but to James Bonney, this will be tough with Walter and James at the goal. Two old guys, but Bonney sneaks by Walter. Walter, one of the founding members of Deep End Fitness here in Austin, Texas. Arguably the reason why we're having this tournament here in Austin at the Westlake Aquatic Center. Let's see if we can't keep the cameras situated and the stream situated. As you know, very grassroots here. Lots of volunteers. We've got our whiteboard with our score there. We've got Tyrus from California on camera. We've got another member of the Guppies who's jumped in between games to volunteer reffing. We're in our minute break between points. If you've never played this sport before and you're just seeing it for the first time, each time a goal is scored, there's a minute break in between matches. The team that scored tosses the torpedo across the pool to the other team. There's the toss. It's got to go 8 lanes, and it did. Oh, and it looks like it's a boomerang a bit. It's going to be a fast swim. They got to go quick. Oh, and I think it's a... Okay. Sorry, I get a little excited on the boomerangs. The Depth Chargers retain possession. Swimming a little high here. We need to get low. River with the behind the back pass. You'd love to see it a push off the wall from the Depth Chargers, and Manny still swimming a little bit high. That's Xavier from Kansas passing it off to Scott from Kansas. They joined the Depth Chargers at the last minute. We're swimming a little high now. We're getting it down low to Vivian, and she's immediately wrapped up. Let's see if she can hang on to the torpedo. We've got hands coming in. Looks like it's safe play 2-on-2, grappling for it, but I think the Salamanders are going to come away with it. Indeed they do. We've got some swimming happening. Ruben carefully plucking it off the bottom, passing it ahead to Sean Ransenberg. A couple open nets. We don't want assists, we want goals, and that's Salamanders with another. Again, this is for the spot in the finals to face the vaunted Guppies of Newport, who had a rough start in the beginning. They were down 4-2 in game 1 to the Guapos of South Carolina, and they scored 8 unanswered goals for a spot in the finals of the Aquabowl 2025. Look at a couple of our sponsor packages there. James loves the cane shoes, as he mentioned yesterday on the broadcast. I think he's got 9 pairs. Closet full of cushy shoes. Here comes the throw off. Leslie plucking it off the bottom, bringing it ahead on the near side of the pool. And we've lost the camera again. Bear with us. All right, we seem to be back up. Salamanders put another goal in. 4-2 Salamanders in game 2. One more, and it's over. For a spot in the finals. Oh, it looks like Lon jumped in with the depth chargers. So adding a little bit more strength and speed to that team. Let's see if they can limit the turnovers here and punch one in. We've got some rookie play coming up next. So we're inviting everybody who just wants a chance to play for fun and enjoy the sport to come out to Westlake and take a dip in the pool. A little chilly. I got our safety swimmers shivering. They've got all kinds of wetsuit gear and garb on. We got lots of shivering. Here comes the throw off. Fielded quickly by the depth chargers. Let's see what we're looking at here. Quick camera check, make sure we're still working. We informed our cameraman that to take a quick look at the front of the case periodically to make sure that we're still plugged in correctly. Quick aggression brought by the Salamanders. Each time a depth charger receives the torpedo, it seems to be there's 1 to 2 Salamanders on quickly. Oh, a little swim after a long errant throw. A lot of yellow caps down. Swim lanes are available for the Salamanders, but they're gobbled up. Walter, long breath hold here. Long arms. Can he get a hold of Ruben? Ruben is so fishy. Swimming around a pass toward the near side. Love the pass coming right at the camera. Sean Ransenberg pushing off the wall here. See what he'd do with the torpedo. I think he ditched it down. Wide open net. Salamanders have secured their spot in the finals. That's game. That's match. 5-2 in that second game. 2-0 Salamanders. It's going to be Salamanders versus Guppies for the Aquabowl champions in 2025. We'll be back in a bit. Shout out to our sponsors there. We're going to keep working on this live stream so that we can bring you these finals games with a bit more structure. Hopefully the camera won't turn off. Who knows? Back in a bit.
what you just witnessed might be the most exciting shot in all of UTL. That is a penalty shot. That is going to occur when there is a 3-on-1 penalty, when there's 3 defenders who are grappling with 1 person on offense. Again, the typical rules, the common rules for UTL is you can have a 1 versus 1 or a 2 versus 2, meaning 1 player from either team or 2 players from either team involved in a scrum. But of course, if there's 3 players and you violate that rule and you're in your opposing team's 1/3 of the pool, then you have what's called a penalty shot. Very similar, again, to maybe soccer or hockey, but in this circumstance, there's no one protecting the goal. So, as you can think about, as you imagine, it's still pretty high stakes, still high pressure. Not often that someone scores that penalty shot. It's probably got a maybe 20% success rate. So, Kelly made an awesome shot there on the penalty shot. Great job, Kelly. This is the rookie. We'll call them the rookie yellow and rookie pink teams. And Stream, I don't know what you're seeing right now. It kind of looks like the depths of Hades have opened up. We got an interesting looking filter going on from the camera, so pardon that. We have Pink, who is handing the Torpedo off, making nice short quick passes. Hey, you know what? The filter actually gives an opportunity to see a little bit more gameplay. You get a good, good visual on all the players that are in the water. Passing off to Pink as we're making steady progress towards the goal. Hand off right at the goal, and we score it. Looks like Braden comes up for the score. The score is now 2 for Pink, 1 for yellow. And I will admit, the filter does not look too flattering for anyone on the surface. Great penalty shot, Manny. Great penalty shot, yellow. Yellow receiving the Torpedo, taking it up by the ramp, bringing it back across the middle. It's Patrick being nice and patient, finds a back pass, hands it over to Vivian. Vivian's one to get thrown in the spin cycle, but still finds a way to get the Torpedo off. Kelly, our star of the hour, back to Patrick, involved in a scrum, 1-on-1. Again, this is a legal scrum. Both players can fight, they can yank, and it does get stolen, taken away. Now we're passing the Torpedo up, and we have a clear lane to the goal if we can find an outlet pass. We have a teammate that's coming down, and we're gonna try to keep it below the surface, and we do. And we heard a buzzer from the ref. That's a surface. Surface call, 1-on-1 surface call. What we're gonna do is now called a swim off. For folks who are just tuning in, swim off, imagine a jump ball, but invert that. Both players from either team are gonna race down to the bottom of the pool where the Torpedo is gonna be placed, and the first person to gain possession passes off to a teammate, or maybe they try to advance towards the goal, and then the opposing player is gonna obviously wrap up or try to take the Torpedo away. Lots of action all weekend. We've been playing every hour on the hour. Teams have played up to 5 games at this point. Again, this game, Underwater Torpedo League, takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of stamina, takes a lot of breath capacity, as you can imagine. It's one of the more enduring sports. Really complements the deep end fitness programming well. It looks like they're off for the swim off. Who's gonna be the first of the Torpedo? It looks like Pink grabs it. If he can find a person to hand it off to, it's 2 in the goal. We have 3 people from Pink. Oh, and we're wrapped up, and again, another 1-on-1. Oh, and we found an outlet handoff behind the back. If we can get down back towards the goal, we need to get a little bit deeper. Oh, another scrum towards the top of the surface. It looks like the Torpedo stayed below the surface this entire time. No surface calls. We have a person in the goal, and we're making our way. We're advancing. It's a one-on-one at the goal. We've been down there for quite some time now. Pink's got an open lane as Yellow had to come up to just get another breath of air, and that's a goal for the Pink rookie team. Excellent job. 3-1. 3-1. And we're back. Join me at the table is Sean Ransenberg, one of the marquee, one of the star players who's now going to be actually competing for the title in the championship game this afternoon. Sean Ransenberg, any takeaways from your game earlier, or your games earlier?
Star player I think is quite an exaggeration, but appreciate it. Just love being out here supporting my favorite sport in the world is Underwater Torpedo League, so just glad to be here. And I think this morning, it was really just about the group, the camaraderie, and limiting mistakes. In a sport where it's first to 5, you don't have opportunities to make mistakes, so you really want to limit those mistakes, and that's really what we're out here doing this morning.
Yeah, do you feel like you got enough of the cobwebs out? Again, playing 2 days in a row, up to 6 games sometimes in one given weekend, there's a lot of energy that's expended. How do you prepare yourself for day 2?
It's a good question. I think first thing is recovery. Got home last night, took a nice ice bath, stretched it out, just trying to loosen the body up because it is, it's a battle. You play 3 games on day 1, and then you're going to play 2 games today, but championship game's best of 5, so you got to be prepared and ready. It's a lot, but excited for it, and I think the team's feeling good.
Yeah.
Here we go. Who's at the bottom there? Look at that wrestle. Is that Diana? Man, no, it's Vivian.
That's Vivian.
Yeah. Vivian
Another
going at it.
2-on-2. Pink finds their way.
Is that Xavier from Kansas getting it up?
Passes it off to one of the, I'll call them the Mary sisters. Mary and Fatima, the twins. Had experience playing UTL in California. One of them, Mary, recently moved to San Antonio, so now she has the opportunity to keep that competitive edge alive. We have a surface call. Sean, we've seen a couple of surface calls. We didn't see that many earlier in the veteran play. Is the surface a strategy, or is it how do you strategize when you find yourself in a position where you do need to come up for air, but you don't want to let go of that torpedo because of the you don't want to turn the torpedo over. How do you strategize with the surface calls?
Yeah, it's one of the hardest parts of the game, honestly. I think as a team, you have to be able to signal each other so that hey, I'm out of air, I need another teammate in this scrum, so that we either, 1, get the steal, or 2, worst case scenarios, we get a surface. And so, I think in those scrums, it's always tough, but you want your teammates close by. You can't obviously have more than 2, but if it's 1-on-1 or 1-on-2, and I'm trying to signal to my team, hey, I'm going to have to let this go. I'm going to have to get up for air. But it's not that big of a torpedo, so you got to keep your hands on tight. Here's another scrum right at the bottom. Here we go.
As we're talking about
Patrick is
as we're talking about surfaces, we have another surface call. At some point, I feel like we just got to let them go, keep the gameplay going. But there is nonstop gameplay. If you think about it, I bet there's some statistician out there who would be interested to kind of run some of the statistics, but on any given point, Sean, I think it's about 45 to maybe a minute and a half each point. So
yeah.
it's a fast-paced. It is a fast-paced game. You might be down underwater for anywhere between 5 to 35 seconds before you come up for air. Oh, and
is that? Oh,
Yellow puts it home.
Nice.
After a long point with a couple of surface penalties, Yellow puts it home.
Good score, good passing. One of the things I love, Vivian, one of the newer players on the team, she's always down and in the right position. I think that's one of the biggest challenges of this sport is, with sports like basketball or water polo, when you're above the water, you can communicate. Underwater, it's really hard to communicate, so you really have to know where your teammates are going to be and at what times. And so we talk a lot about it as a team. Yesterday in the preliminaries, a couple times where teammates' goggles come off, you can't see anything underwater. You have to know where your teammates are going to be so that you can throw it and trust them. And I think that was a good example where Vivian was down at the bottom. She was ready for that goal. So
Vivian's absolutely one of the players I think we're all looking out for. There's a couple that stand out on both the rookie and the newly appointed veteran team member. I would say that Eddie's a great addition to Sean's team. Again, Sean represents the Texas Salamanders. They'll be playing this afternoon against the Newport Guppies. And players are going to come from all different backgrounds, walks of life. A lot of folks who come in from water polo, a lot of folks who come in from standardized surface level swimming. But UTL is a great equalizer, as they say. And Sean, looks like we have some action. What's going on here?
Well, let's take a look here. It looks like we got Patrick working his way up. Nice little side swim. What you notice the yellow defender's doing is that they're trying to get in front of the pass. There's no openings. Oh, it's a close. Oh, we got another scrum. It looks like Diana's in the mix. Oh, and then Jeremy breaks away. We got an opening in the middle. Can Mary's sister, Mary, get in there? Nice goal.
Nice. Way to fight. Never gave up on that play. We're going to tack on another point for the pink team.
I think one of the keys here is you noticed the offensive player staying low to the ground, keeping their chest right on the ground. It's such an advantage in this sport. Similar to other sports, right? You think of sumo wrestling, you think of football, like being low to the ground is a big advantage. And so you saw there the pink offensive player staying low, getting underneath the goalie, and getting into the goal.
Quick shot there of the scoreboard. We have an entire team both in the water and on land. If I give a quick count, we have a safety swimmer I'm looking at. We have obviously somebody who's operating this camera for the live stream, 2 refs. So that's a total count of 4 on in the water. We got a lifeguard on land. We have myself and Sean here, who are manning the live stream, and then we have somebody who's keeping track of the score. So quite the operation to run a successful tournament. Quick love for the stream from Sean and myself. This is match point. So Sean, if you're if they're just tuning in, how many points do you score to win the match? How many matches are in the game? How does this point set match? I mean, I'm not a tennis guy, so maybe you can break it down better than me.
Yeah, no. I think tennis is a good way to think about it. You play basically best of 3 to 5 points, and each round, if you will, or set, if we're thinking of the tennis analogy, is to 5. It's first to 5. There's no win by 2. It's first 1 to 5 wins that set or wins that round. And then you go on to the next round. You play best 2 of 3, with the exception of the championship game for the Aquabowl. We'll play best of 5, and it's quite a battle. To your point, each point's only a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. But man, I mean, James, you know this. You feel it when you're underwater. Man, it feels like a lifetime.
It feels like a lifetime. Well said. I mean, between the first time you go underwater, it might feel like you have an eternity, but as soon as the torpedo might turn in the other direction, if there's any type of turnover, it's just mentally and physically it can be defeating. So the real objective is if you're on offense, you want to score as quickly as you can. So nice, sharp, quick passes, which you'll typically see from teams like the Guppies, who are going to be competing to actually retain possession of their Aquabowl plaque that we have created. And again, as the Salamanders are going to try to take that plaque later this afternoon. But again, another surface call. There have been some rule adjustments. We typically, we have seen in the past, limitations on the number of surfaces a team can have in any given match. But for the rookie play, again, as we're trying to expand and grow the sport, really want to encourage this continual gameplay. So we're letting these rookies battle it out for these surface drops. One of the more impressive and one of the more exciting plays in UTL are these surface drops. And we have another potential surface as players start to rise to the surface.
There it goes.
And we drop it back.
Yellow's got a chance.
The back pass here. Travis is going to make a quick decision to keep the torpedo himself. He's looking for his outlet, finds a man.
If Pink gets a breakaway here, this could be it. Look at Yellow staying in front of those open passes. Pink working their way up towards the goal. Here she goes. Is that Mary? Look at the dolphin kick push. Can she
The
get it?
dolphin
Oh,
kick
and look at
disrupted.
Oh, she got the goal to finish the round. Good
Love that.
finish. That
Folks,
was
we're
an
going to take
awesome goal.
a 3-minute break in between each match, and we'll be right back with some live commentary.